Yeah, Sanjay Uchiha here, people, giving you my review of Naruto Shippuden episode 479. Um, Note I've watched episode only like once, and that was on Thursday. So if I miss stuff, just forgive me for that one. But I'm gonna just give you my raw, well, I guess from memory, I guess my impression slash review. This was definitely just like the previous episode. One of the more it's things have slowed down to really see the after the aftermath of the war, essentially the aftermath of the Naruto versus Sasuke battle, how things have affected the world. Um, this episode was pretty good to say the least. It really covers chapter 699 of the manga and that chapter only. Um, and given that it only covers that chapter, it's obvious that things were added to this anime adaptation here. And I think part of what made this episode great was the stuff they added. Um, it was nice seeing Naruto in the village, seeing what he was up to after the war, seeing how people came to see him. It kind of reminded me of in the last Naruto the movie, how they showed how Naruto was basically popular and everything. Um, how should I put it now? There was a scene with even Sasuke. I didn't expect to see it, but it does fall in line to what Kakashi was saying about him, being pardoned of his crimes. But seeing him in jail, sealed like that, ugh. it's crazy. And to think that he even sealed his eyes, but that's probably the most important thing to seal. But yeah, getting back into it. Um, so we actually get to see Gara, apart from the people that came to see Naruto and the Leaf security actually keeping them out, we see Gara and Raikage and all these important characters coming to see Naruto, see how he's doing, and then after that we get to find out that yes, Kakashi has been appointed the sixth Hokage, and he's seeing him interact with Tsunade there. It's a kind of chill mood. This episode overall is pretty chill. Um, Kind of felt weird seeing Kakashi in the Hokage hat. He just looks extremely like he can't bother. Um, I mean, going from there, we really see Kakashi and Iruka, calling on Naruto. And this is one part I found interesting because we never got this. This is one that seems never really got in the manga. Them telling Naruto that, well, especially Kakashi, he specifically was appointing Naruto, was keeping him from getting to Jonin essentially, which was pretty insane since, because he asked him if he got to do the Chunin exams and obviously didn't, so he was gonna jump from Genin to Jonin. But the thing is, Naruto first has to apparently like 2 years of studying and passing written tests, which I don't mind. And what really helps the scene off is Konohamaru bringing up a point that Naruto himself brought to Obito in the war, that there's no shortcuts to becoming Hokage. So even though I think most of us were under the impression in the manga that probably Naruto would have skipped from Genin to Hokage, I guess yes, this does fall in line with Naruto's character. So getting this extra scene, which I guess helps bridge the gap between the manga and the anime, essentially, it adds to the episode. I like it. Um, After this, Naruto, we get a scene with Naruto and Iruka, and we got a little flashback. Nothing too hectic, nothing that really takes you out of the episode, but it's the same swing that we've seen probably 1,000 times by now. And Naruto really explained how Iruka helped save him, one of the persons that really acknowledged him and helped prevented him from, I guess, well, stop Naruto from hating the villagers as well, supposedly. I mean, Iruka in this series, he's one of the characters I think should have gotten like way extra push for what he did for Naruto. It's like he just Iruka's hardly been in this series, honestly. Stupid. But yeah, they go for ramen and all that. While we get a scene of, and we get to find out, yeah, as well from early on that Suna is working on Naruto's prosthetic hand that's made of Hashirama cells. Um, let's see. I'm really drawing from memory here, so forgive me. Um, Yeah, we get a scene of Lee and Guy, and basically how Guy's foot is basically pretty freaked up, to say the least. Well, that's obvious from him doing the night guy, but I'm wondering why couldn't I just make a why couldn't I just like cut off the leg and make a prosthetic leg out of Hashirama cells for him as well? Or do they not have enough Hashirama cells? Come on, I'm sure Tsunade could have done that. But yeah, eventually Kakashi and Ibuki, that's the guy that was in charge of the first exam back in the day in the Chunin exams. Yeah, they let Sasuke out, and Sasuke's getting ready to leave the village. And yeah, we get this scene from the manga where Kakashi telling him that he's been pardoned of his crimes, and it's all because of Kakashi himself putting in a word and Naruto himself. And basically Kakashi tells him that he shouldn't go wild again, else it'll be Kakashi in trouble this time. Fair enough. Sasuke feels he needs to travel the world to see things he may have overlooked. See how, I guess, the effects of the war, see things he was blinded to at this point. It's kind of like a journey of redemption, essentially. And we get the iconic scene of Sakura asking if he can come with him. Of course, Sasuke declines, saying that this is his journey of redemption. She has nothing to do with it. And then Sasuke gives the poke on on Sakura's head. Now it may seem, I guess, like it's no big deal. He gave her a poke on the head, but this is, apart from what I was saying in the previous review, when with Sasuke's, I guess, the resolution of his internal character conflict. This is Sasuke really coming full circle. The fact that he poked her head, that's really symbolic of what his brother Itachi used to do to him. So essentially, I guess internally Sasuke has acknowledged Itachi completely now, and his internal character has been resolved. His conflicts, that is. The things that he was running away from and that he saw as a weakness, he no longer sees them as a weakness. And the fact that he doesn't see that as a weakness, and not the stuff that he saw as a weakness before, Naruto excels at, he acknowledges Naruto completely as well now. So I think that was a fine addition as well. He eventually goes on, and this was one of the next beautiful parts of the episodes. We continue to get part 1 OSTs. It just really sets the tone. It sets the tone of the series ending in a cool way. I don't know if it's because we hardly got any listening in on part 1 OSTs in Shippuden, why I guess people, how should I say, I guess probably this is the reason why people, I don't know, feel the need to go crazy when they start hearing it. I don't know. I wonder if it's been different if we've been getting part 1 OSTs right throughout. Just like how, I guess, in One Piece, the OSTs they use in part 1, they still, I guess, pre-time skip, they're still pretty much using them in post-time skip. I don't know if that would have been the case if we'd been getting part 1 Naruto OSTs all along, but it's a fine addition. And we have the next iconic scene of Sasuke leaving the village and meeting Naruto along the way. Sasuke giving an internal, he has a monologue, and Naruto essentially gives him back, yes, the forehead protector from part 1 at the end of the fight that, Naruto would have scratched. And of course Naruto had it all this time, which is, I can understand, but it's still pretty weird. But whatever. It's cool. It's really, it really shows how far the series has come, essentially. So Sasuke, he's kind of like you really had this all this time, and Naruto's like, eh. Sasuke's like, alright, I'll take it until we can really settle things between us. Um, so of course, it indicates from that statement, and even the statement that Naruto made when they were still in the valley at the end. Yes, they're more than gonna fight again. We, of course, we don't see this in the manga or in the extended material that we've gotten to date so far. But knowing how the animation studio is doing things, how they're milking it, we're probably gonna get that. I wouldn't mind. Um, Sasuke, yes, does the monologue Sasuke has, I really liked it in terms of, yeah, he needs to see the world, and I believe it was like, yeah, we've been through a lot, but sometimes the things we go through and the things we endure are that we can manage to endure, they don't apply to everybody. So problems will probably continue to exist, but probably the fact that we continue to endure through it all, and hopefully, I guess, hoping for the best result, kind of proves that we are a ninja. So I like how in the end Sasuke's character is kind of going through a lot of development, transition. I love it. Definitely a good episode to watch. I'd recommend it to anyone, really. I guess I should probably spend like 2-3 minutes giving my thoughts on the direction that the anime is going in. So apparently next week we'll be getting some, and for the next few weeks we'll be getting some character shorts, and basically there'll be flashback. Well, yeah, they're essentially flashbacks, but I guess the anime studio is making a play on it in terms of creating stuff we probably haven't seen from the past of these characters before. Um, I think I'll enjoy it, and I'll probably review it. But I think what they should have done is just really probably take a month break. Well, yeah, and just kind of start going into the character novels that bridge the gap between chapter 699 and 700. Um, so essentially, after chapter 699, there was a 10-year time skip into chapter 700, essentially. Um, Kishimoto did what was called Naruto New Era project, and a few character novels were a part of the project as well. Of course, the last Naruto the movie, Boruto Naruto the movie, were a part of this project as well as the extra 10 chapters that we got. But the character novels weren't done by Kishimoto himself. But of course, I'm guessing he would have to supervised it. So I feel that's the direction they should have gone with. I haven't really read the character novels myself. I've read like the first chapter only of the Kakashi novel. I know, poor on my part. I've read some of the stuff from Shikamaru's novel, which I must say it's extremely great content. Based on the small amount of stuff I've read so far, it seems to have a lot of great world building outside of the shinobi themselves, in terms of, I guess, perspective and opinions of other people. And I really like that. But yeah, this has been my review. I don't know, if you want more Naruto segments, let me know. Post your comments below, share this video out, subscribe for more Naruto. Raggle Fraggle. But yeah, this is Sanjay Uchiha. See you in the next one.